Yeah. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Frappeverse, for giving us the opportunity to talk about our journey with Frappe. So to introduce myself, I am Nikhil Karkare. I am the co-founder of Walnut Schools. We have schools in Pune, and I've been in education for 25 years. And also now I am the co-founder of Effectic Systems along with Sankara. And over to you.
And I'm Shankar Subramanian. I am head of technology at Unity Transformation. I've been working with Nikhil for the past 2 years, and we've been working on this product, wonderful product that we are happy to take you through.
So a little background about where we come from. We have three schools in Pune. We have around 5,000 students and 450 staff members, team members working with us. We have 10,000 parents. And we have a very unique system. We have no school bags. Children don't carry any school bags to school. They write on individual worksheets and they're checked and sent back home. We keep track of everything. We have daily sports where children play every day. We have subject wise classrooms where children keep shifting after every period so that they get a break. And, we have a very planned learning system where we track what the teacher is teaching, when the teacher is teaching. And, we have a direct reporting mechanism back to the parents, all orchestrated using technology. And obviously, so you might say, it's a unique school. And with unique school, the front end is very unique, but the back end has very, very unique problems.
So problems I couldn't imagine when we were first talking about those problems. I literally thought we were like over engineering all of this, but it later turned out with his insights, those were real problems that every school they are facing right now.
So here is what happens, right? A school has a lot of moving parts. There are students, there are teachers, there is administration staff, there is teaching staff, there is management, and then there are verticals like transport, finance, curriculum, and all of that, which have to work together. Now, each of these verticals is a product in itself because there are multiple products which actually work for admissions, multiple products which work for fees, for LMS, and all of that. But there is no cohesive platform which brings all of these things together. And that is a real requirement because if that does not happen, each of them is running in different directions, which changes the whole perspective and the messaging of the school. Okay, the parents are confused, they don't know what the hell is happening, and there's a lot of friction which gets generated. So when I was looking for platforms, I've been doing this again for multiple decades, and this is the platform which I was really looking for, right? So this is the third version of what we've done. And what we did in the past version of my ERP was took me around 6 to 7 years. I could do this with Frappe with 50 more modules in less than 1.5 years.
So yeah, why Frappe? The question is to answer his question that what brings everything together, one cohesive platform which has all of the pieces combined. So having it under one umbrella makes more sense because everything can work together seamlessly. Having different disconnected or fragmented systems is going to be a nightmare to manage, and making those talk to each other is going to be a nightmare, but we've avoided that pitfall by using Frappe and using all of those tools required. We are using every tool that Frappe has to offer actually.
Yeah. So we use even the smallest tools like Wiki to the most extent, and we have again built it out and customized it for education. So the problem we are here to talk about today is basically about finance. The biggest thing which organizations run on, and payments, right? So we had a lot of friction with collecting payments from parents. We had a lot of time which was spent on support. We had a lot of time spent on reconciliations. We had a lot of time being spent on payments being sent back because of faulty receipt generations in my previous versions. And not only for us but also for the customers that we work for, we have had all of them have had similar experiences. So for example, one of the problems which one of my customers was telling me was the receipts got generated from the ERP, the parents got those receipts, and the payments were given back to the company, to the card because of failed transactions. So now this can work out with 5 or 10, cases. But in schools, the problem is everything gets multiplied by 500. Okay. So imagine the volume of support that the admin and the accounts team had to go through to actually talk to the parent, make them pay again, talk to the payment company, talk to the payment gateway, and actually get back the payments. So the volume of the problems just get magnified tremendously. So we have to be really, really treat this system as a mission critical system, right? So that's where we came up with this we also identified parents' nightmares that they have to pay multiple entities. There are people sign up for transport, some people sign up for food, some people have to, all the people have to pay for tuition, and there are choices which they need to make at the time before they sign up. And many times they also face certain conditions where they are not comfortable in sharing the fact that they are facing financial constraints, so they need some flexibility in in paying the schools. So how do you actually enable parents to give them the convenience of paying at a single glance, in a single shot, and also giving them some convenience of paying with some kind of equated monthly installments.
So yeah, initially when we were working for the fees, I thought just sending a payment link and collecting would make the thing work. But as you see here, these use cases are very unique. Having collecting fees under multiple entities and channeling them into those relevant bank accounts, it's actually quite some work. So we've used Easebuzz as our payment gateway. It works as a normal payment gateway, but it has some additional features. We use something called the payment splits. What we do is we give the option to configure uh, fee head wise configuration to assign a particular entity and a bank account. We can do this mapping, and when the parents, they see only a single fee link, and when they make the payment, we channel those with the help of the payment gateway into the relevant accounts. This solves a huge problem for parents, and it's working seamlessly now.
So the problem here was basically, just going back, was, payment gateways are quite standard. We know that we can collect payments. But the problem is, when the payment gets settled, we have no idea of how reconciliation happens. So we had to actually go and download those statements, and we had to do those, reconciliations manually. That's where we said, why not automate it, because we already know how much payment has come in, we know who has paid it, we have exact IDs of the parents who have paid it because it's gone through our system. So why not just automate it? So Easebuzz had their API which we kind of utilized, and reconciliations just happened automatically.
We had settlement APIs from Easebuzz,
Yeah.
which also comes with those charges or surcharges for each payment. We make correct ledger entries into the system, calculating all of those, including all of those charges and everything.
Yeah. So next was GrayQuest.
Yeah. So the problem statement is that parents do not cannot afford a particular fee. So instead of approaching the institution, now we've integrated with NBFCs. There are many, but we've integrated with GrayQuest, and we are right now working with 5. So what this offers is when the parents try to pay the fee, they will get an option to pay it either in EMI or direct full payments. So when they chose the EMI option, they they have to undertake a KYC process. Once they are approved, the institution will get the whole payment from the NBFC, but parents will be paying back in EMIs. It's just like a bank EMI how it works, but that's very smooth experience for parents actually.
The next question which obviously came up was, what happens to these payments once they hit the bank? So obviously the next thing is bank reco, right? What we saw yesterday, Nikhil Kodari showed about manual reconciliation using Linux Mint, Mint, which is released yesterday. We thought we could go a step further and automate the whole process.
Yeah, that's where the ICICI integration comes in. We did two things here with the bank integration. One is reconciling and double checking those entries, the settlement entries which came from the Easebuzz or the payment gateway settlement. That is one part of it. The next part is quite interesting is that we are able to solve your payroll and your purchase problems. All of your payments now goes out directly from the system with an approval.
So did you do all of this?
Obviously, no, we couldn't do all of it. That's why we have the partner ecosystem. We have domain experts, like we like to call ourselves education experts. So likewise, we have bank experts. We have Vignesh from Parallel who did this for us.
So that's the beauty of Frappe, right? Where you have a very vibrant ecosystem of partners who have specialized in specific verticals. So when we know something about education, we know we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We just reached out to Vignesh, said, hey, we have this problem. We've seen you talk about it in previous Frappeverses, so can you do it for us? And he said, sure, why not? And within a few weeks, we had ICICI integration done right from not only for reconciliations but also for payments. So here is what happens, right? So the magic is essentially we send notifications to parents X days before the fees are due on the app. They tap on the link, they pay, and it's done. It's like a few seconds of work, really. One problem which we saw before this is, very simple things of sending notifications. The app notifications is one, but we are highly regulated. So we have to send emails to parents about fee reminders too, right? Sending emails in Frappe was a very, very slow process. Okay. So now we have to send, let's say, 5,000 emails. Okay. Sending it per second because of the rate limits was absolutely not acceptable to us. So I reached out to Sankara and said, this is just not done. I cannot wait for, 20 minutes for these emails to go. So do something about it.
So yeah, we built another integration with Amazon SEO service where we could batch 500 emails in a single shot, and with that we were able to send out like 5 6,000 emails under a few 5 10 seconds. So
Yeah. So, I mean, not only emails, but even simple things like OTPs. So for us, OTPs are kind of a statutory thing, where we kind of get OTPs for food delivery apps and all that. But signing on to apps itself was a very big problem, which we didn't know. Okay, so a lot of our customers complain to us that, hey, you remembering usernames and passwords and remember, supporting parents with forgotten passwords itself was a supporting action.
even with forget password option, parents used to call up the school or send emails to reset those their passwords. So that's a
Exactly.
pain.
So I mean, we solved that using, registered phone numbers and OTPs. It seems like a very obvious thing to do, but many times obvious things are not done by most people. And that's what we kind of have done, is we have sent OTPs to log into to our app, and, the parents can just log in. So that support function just disappeared. All right. Now, how can you use OTPs in more creative ways? What again, as I said, we are very, very highly regulated. Compliance is one of the biggest things that schools have to do. So we have to do, some kind of undertakings which we have to send to parents for them to accept rules and regulations. We send them an OTP and make sure that that OTP is printed along with the IP address and the ID of the parent onto the signature part. And now all our documents are digitized and compliant and stored on Frappe Cloud, right? So OTPs can be used in multiple creative ways too. Just where you have to apply your head to this. So yeah,
So yeah, this is the result of our work that we've done. You won't need an accountant in your school. You just have to export these reports and send it to your CA. So
yeah.
that's the final goal that we've reached. So talking about insights, since we have everything in one place, in one database, this makes more sense. So we have all the data in one place. Nikhil is able to get all of his insights here. One more quick note is that he doesn't rely on a developer or me to create these reports. Interestingly, we have Frappe MCPs with Claude Code, and he's able to just ask Claude what report he wants, and he generates it for him.
So
That's
not
quite
only that, we can also I can tell Claude to go and connect using API to Frappe and actually create reports at the backend directly, which I can expose to my users and accountants when they want it. So Insights also has an interesting feature of setting alerts. How many of you know about it? Okay. So Insights has an interesting feature of setting alerts on reaching specific conditions. You can send emails automatically. Okay, so we use that very effectively for not only for accounts, but we also use it for education, where we expect some outcomes from students. If those are not achieved, we send those emails to their teachers, to their HODs and principals, saying these things are not achieved. Please go and look at it. So insights have been a lifesaver for us because we can really do a lot of complex operations of pedagogy, of accounts, of finance, and actually get emails done very quickly. So, starting today, we are open sourcing all of the things which we spoke about. So we hope that you can take leverage of whatever we have done and extend it as much as you can. And we hope that whoever is implementing in education or anywhere else, happy to talk to them and see how we can work together. So, that's what I wanted to say, that let the educators focus on what they do best, educate, right? Let the rest be taken care by Frappe and ERPNext. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody has questions?
Yes. I mean, excellent to know about this. I just want to know, when are these schools opening in Mumbai?
It's not possible. So education is very, very expensive in Mumbai.
Hi team, great work. Can you also tell me on that ICICI integration? Is that also part of the previous slide that you showed us?
Uh,
The previous slide, in the sense, can
Okay,
you go?
which has that open source then?
We don't have ICICI open source. It's with our partner
Ah,
RLL.
right.
So
so
you might, you
it's
can
upon
reach
the
out.
partner to open source it or not. We don't want to step into issues and open
Sure,
source it.
sure. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
RLL Technologies.
RL Technologies, they have integrations with ICICI, Axis, and many banks. So we had partnership with ICICI, so which is did an ICICI integration. And they were actually ICICI is faster. We also have integration with, we have relationships with HDFC. HDFC is terrible with responding. They just didn't respond to our request at all. So ICICI was very quick with responses, so we went ahead with them. Yeah. So they're quite professional. They have the sandbox and everything ready, and they give it quite quickly.